is
you can come anytime.
Debbie bought her home in the Chantilly neighborhood of Charlotte, North Carolina. Since then, she and her fiance Brian have improved the place. Now they're wondering if it makes financial sense to add on, or if they should sell and move on to a larger house.
One day I was driving through this neighborhood and this house was for sale by owner, and I called and said I really would like to see the house, and as soon as I walked out of the front door I turned to my friend and I said I want this house. So in 2001 I bought the house for $155,000.
We put about $70,000 into it, bringing our total to $225,000.
So we now live here with our 80-pound chocolate lab, and things start to get a little crowded.
What we're really hoping is that we can see a sale price of around $295,000. That way we can take that equity, add a two-story addition, or we can take the equity and buy a new house.
Chantilly is a neighborhood in Charlotte with tree-lined streets and bungalows built in the 1940s. This is an area of town that attracts a lot of busy professionals because of its central location. This house really looks good. Tell me some of the things you've done to it.
Well, we've put in new mulch all around the front yard for some new landscaping. We planted some new flowers. All in all, we spent about, I'd say around $9,500 for curb appeal. About $5,000 of that was for a brand new roof that we had to put on.
Buyers, when they're looking at a house at this age, they're going to really appreciate the fact that they've got a new roof. And the landscaping has really turned out great. You've got some cosmetic work to do here. You've got a soffit that needs to be repaired and a little bit of paint work that needs to be done in the exterior of the home. But other than that, it really looks good.
Well, Tom, this is the new kitchen that we renovated. There used to be a wall here.
The first thing that really strikes me about this kitchen is that it's big. I think that was a really wise move to take down that wall. How much did you spend on the kitchen?
All told, we spent about $28,000.
Well, that's really not bad at all, considering what you've done here.
So this is the master bedroom. It used to end right here where this beam is. When I did the addition, added on 5 feet to the bedroom, then we added on a bathroom. Total amount was about 250 square feet that I added.
And what did that cost you?
About $25,000 for everything.
I think this is money well spent. $25,000 for 250 square feet is not a lot of money considering you've got a brand new bathroom in here. The fact that you've got a closet with all that built-out shelving. I think buyers are really going to like this. Okay, so this backyard looks great.
Put some money into the landscaping, and then the biggest thing we did was put the deck on.
We spent about $7,500 on the backyard, $4,000 of which was to put in the new deck.
This deck is great. It's really big, especially for a home of this size. I really like it. The one thing I will say here is the deck looks a little worn. You should think about doing something to that, pressure washing it, staining it. You can probably get out of that for $600 or $700.
But what's it going to cost them to make their home bigger? To find out, we've asked architect Miller Nicholson for some expert advice.
We're getting married this summer, so eventually we'd like to start a family, and having a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house may just be too small. What we'd really like to do is talk about adding at least another 2 bedrooms and maybe another bathroom on a 2nd-story addition.
You got a great house to do it because the house is almost a square. If we work the stair in the front and we go up, then we can create 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, a little loft, and a stair getting up to the upper level without really interrupting what you guys have done on the first floor.
budget's probably about $75,000 to $150,000.
$75,000 you can't. $150,000 you're probably in the envelope of making that work.
$150,000. I mean, that's the top of our budget. Is that something that we could really see back out of the house?
Going a little bit over your budget won't be a big deal, I think, in the long term. You may not get that all back today, but over the long term, I think you'll be okay.
But will Debbie and Brian be okay with what Tom thinks they can get today?
I would recommend that you price it at.
Plus, this Southern California man's already done a total gut job of his house, but he may have to do more to see the return he's after.
To me, it sort of feels a little unfinished back here.
See more real estate tips at hgtv.com/houseworth. Brian and Debbie are wondering if they've got the equity to put on a second-story addition or if it makes more sense to sell and move on.
You've got a terrific house here. Now, you've done some great work with the kitchen. The updates you've done there have been perfect. Also, you've taken the master bedroom and turned it into a true master suite, adding a bathroom and adding a closet space. The work you've done in the backyard is also great. Putting on a deck and the landscaping really looks terrific. Now, there are a few little cosmetic issues that I think you need to take care of with just do some touch-ups, stain the deck. A few little things like that will go a long ways when you go to put this home on the market.
Will Debbie and Brian get to walk down the aisle with $295,000?
Based on the comparables in the neighborhood and the condition of your house as it stands today, I would recommend that you price it at $300,000.
Awesome. That's great.
That's
That's
great.
fantastic.
Since hearing the figure, Brian and Debbie have made the decision to stay in their house and move ahead with that big addition. Some would say a one-bedroom, one-bathroom house isn't the best investment, but don't tell Bob that. In 2004, he bought his place in an LA neighborhood called Herman. He then gutted the place and made some pricey renovations. Now he's ready to find out if the market appreciates the changes he's made.